Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Texas Rangers and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Rangers is Fergie Jenkins, whose record is 16-9 with a 4.62 ERA. And pitching for Detroit is Jack Morris, whose record is 15-12 with a 4.13 ERA. And so here we are, folks. We've made it to the final game of the season, game 162. We will not be making the playoffs, but I will have a separate video after this one where I will go day by day quickly through the playoffs. So with a little, we could watch it with a little bit of drama and see together how it all plays out. So it'll be a lot of fun to get through that, and then there will be another video for the leaders and final standings, and then another video after that where we'll do everything that takes place in the off season in preparation for 1981. So before I get this game going, I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment just to thank a bunch of the people who have been there really since the beginning, and a lot of the people who've spent time contributing, either commenting or liking my videos. So I'm going to do this as quickly as I possibly can, and then we'll get right to the game. First and foremost, I have to thank the creator of Baseball Mogul. That's Clay Dreslough. I did ask for permission at the beginning of the season to play this game and to add it to YouTube and to make a few minor changes to it with graphics, and he was all on board. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for Baseball Mogul 2021. It should be out soon if it's not out already, and I will be using that when we do 1981 season. I also want to take a moment to thank Andrew Sincic, who created the Brainiac Baseball logo, the name and the logo. I appreciate that. Also, Jeremy DeYoung, who will be creating all the 1981 Topps cards for next season, in which if a player is on a team that they never actually played for, he's going to create a baseball card that looks like they did. And it's going to be amazing. I've seen a lot of his proofs. It's fantastic. Next, I want to thank Dave Kinchis and Kent Scharnhorst. These are the knuckleheads that I started this for. I wanted to be fun. I wanted to be funny, and just a way to communicate when we're, 3,000 miles apart. Dave plays Baseball Mogul. Kent does not. He lives vicariously through his children, much like Tanya Harding's mother, and so. I thank them both for watching every single game. I know that they did. Next category is people that I believe have been there for the whole time. They've commented a lot and liked a lot of videos. It's Freddie Cardona, Joe Murdy, and Donald Gordon. I want to also throw Alan Bollinger in there too. He's a Boston fan, and he always roots against my Tigers when we play Boston. Everyone else, I know they've contributed in some fashion, and I just want to run through this list. I have Stephen Merkel, Douglad, Bruce, Chris Robbins, Bill Hicks and his son Aiden, who binge my games much like Netflix, which is why I'm charging them $12.99 for 1981 season. Jacob Mooney, Kenneth Aucoin. We have Tony Almquist and Dave Weinert, Ryan Gillis, Ted Ians, Frank Lamb, Ricky Mazza, the sequel. We have Shannon Tuning, Eric France, David Edstrom, Ron Spursky, and Brian Freeburn. If I've missed you, I am so sorry. I appreciate every single person who's taken a moment to watch any content that I put out there. I did not expect it to go this far, and I'm really looking forward to next season. So if I did forget you, make a note in the comments of this game, and I'll give you a special shout out, which you definitely deserve. Okay, wow, I almost need a sip of my beer here. But we're going to get right into the game. I do have Jack Morris pitching today. He's only going to go 3 innings. I don't want him to get injured and then miss next year. As you can see, we do have other bullpen pitchers who are listed as tired. So I will not be going with them today. I might get Rick Russell in there in relief, but we'll see how that plays out. As far as the batting lineup goes, I have all the starters in there today, and much like real baseball does on game 162, at the 5th inning today, I'm going to pull them all out and put in the substitutes. And like in real baseball, where they walk up the field and everyone claps their hands and all that. So that's kind of my mentality there. This game doesn't have any purpose for my Tigers or the Rangers, so I feel like I can do that, and it won't be any big deal. So the game is taking a moment to think here. We're going to do the lineup rundown for the Rangers, and there are the stats for the season so far. Looks like we've got Bob Brower leading off, playing center field. Batting second and DHing is Billy Sample. Batting third and in right field is Richie Zisk. Batting cleanup and catching is Jim Sundberg. Batting fifth and at first base is John Ellis. Batting sixth and at third base is Buddy Bell. Batting seventh and in left field is Johnny Grubb. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is Robin Yount. And batting ninth at second base is Bump Wills. And here's Jack Morris. I mean, he's really been horrible down the stretch, much like all the other Tigers pitchers and hitters. This is his 34th start. Again, he's only going to go 3 innings today. He's 15-12, 4.13 ERA. He's given up a ton of hits. 153 Ks, which is not bad for a pitcher of this era. Opponent's batting average 273. He had 3 complete games and a shutout this year. And here's Bob Brower leading off. Don't know who he is. He's obviously, we saw he was a rookie. And Morris walks him. And this is going to go bad. We've been clobbered for practically 4 straight games. Here's Billy Sample. He's next up, batting .330 versus righties. And he hits a line drive right at Whitaker. And I thought maybe they could double off Brower. He's got a lot of speed, Brower does, 96. So that's a little bit of a surprise. Ground ball by Richie Zisk. Gets past Hebner at third base. That's a base hit. So first and second, 1 down. Here's catcher Jim Sundberg batting cleanup. He hits a ground ball to second. That should be 2. It is. And so Morris gets out of the first inning. Let's go ahead and do the Tigers rundown. And here we go. Last time we'll be seeing them. You can always pause the stats to see, what their year stats are if you're curious. And then you can do this at any point during the year. Batting leadoff is Sweet Lou Whitaker playing second base. And batting second and playing short is Alan Trammell. Batting third and at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting cleanup and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth and in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting sixth and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting seventh and at third base is Richie Hebner. Batting eighth and DHing is Carlton Fisk. And batting ninth in center field is Omar Marino. And the first 4 hitters in the lineup today are already listed as tired. But since it is the last game of the season, we're going to go ahead and give it a go. Fergie Jenkins making his 32nd start in the year, 16-9, 4.62 ERA, 149 Ks. Opponent's batting .243. And he's got 8 complete games, 263 career wins at age 37. And we know he gets into the Hall of Fame in real life. He was played for a lot of bad teams. He was a stat compiler. Hey, Sweet Lou leads it off with a base hit. We don't need to stretch it into a double. And that will get Whitaker's average up to 268. We're going to let Trammell swing away. Normally I'd hit and run here. And he hits a ground ball right to Ellis at first base. And he steps on the bag. Whitaker safe at second. Next up is JT. He's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs against Fergie Jenkins. I like those odds. As he hits a line drive to right. It's going to fall short of the wall in right field. Whitaker takes third. So we have a runner standing on third base for Lance Parrish. He's been somewhat of a disappointment as he gets a base hit to right, and there's an RBI single. I expected a lot more home runs out of Parrish, but it just wasn't meant to be this year. Next up is Steve Kemp, who hits a ground ball to Ellis at first as well. And the Tigers have an early lead, 1-0, going into the second inning. Here's John Ellis, first time we've seen him this series. And Morris strikes him out. That's his first K. Next up is future Tigers manager, Buddy Bell. Him and Trammell were managers through the really lean years. A thankless job, back in the 90s and early 2000s as Johnny Grubb strikes out. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. Here's Gary Hancock. He is definitely the team MVP. Batting 301. This will bring him down to 300. Nope, I guess it doesn't. He's still holding steady at 301. But a great job by him this year. We would definitely be a completely different team if he didn't contribute, hitting over 20 home runs, batting 300. As Fisk grounds out to third, we go to the top of the third. 1-0 Detroit. This is the last inning for Jack Morris. Yount hits a ground ball to third, and Hebner makes the play. Bump Wills, who's hit a home run in yesterday's game. Power and speed for this guy, for whatever reason. As he pops out to Hebner at third. We're back to the top of the lineup with Bob Brower in center field instead of Mickey Rivers today. And he flies out to left. So 3 strong innings for Morris. I feel enticed to keep him in there, but like I said, I don't want to injure him. I don't know what his innings cap would be in this game, but I would imagine he's probably getting the way he's performed down the stretch as Omar Marino gets thrown out at second base, trying to stretch it into a double. So that's the third hit for Detroit as Johnny Grubb guns him down. Sweet Lou, base hit his first time up, hits a ground ball to Ellis. Everyone's pulling to first base. I guess we have a lefty lineup in there, a lefty heavy lineup. So with 2 down, Trammell hits a ground ball to short, and we go to the fourth, up 1-0. And I think I am going to bring in Rick Russell. Russell, where's he at? There he is. Russell, this guy has been not great. We did get him in the early part of the season in a trade with the Cubbies, and you can see his stats there. We have him for 5 more years after this, so at a pretty high cost. So I'm hoping he pays off as Billy Sample grounds out to Hebner at third base. Richie Zisk takes an inside pitch and shoots it right back up the middle for a hit. It's only the second hit. Oh, I didn't take Morris out. I'm sure everyone at home was watching this going like, where's Rick Russell? Oops, I did that. That's good enough. He got a hit. We're going to put in Rick Russell. So even after 162 games, the manager is still making huge mistakes. Sundberg hits a ground ball to third, and Hebner boots it. Hebner will not be with the team next year. I've said that a few times, but he was a necessary evil as Brookins got out of the gate hitting horrible as a base hit for John Ellis, and the bases are loaded. Here's Buddy Bell he had a grand slam walk-off against us this year. You may remember that from my many angry fits. And there's a hit into the gap. That should score everybody. Nope, only 2 runs. And Rick Russell can't even get an out. And there was a 1 run that was charged to Morris. So here's a lefty. Man, I really suck. Let's just be honest. So we're going to get Rucker into the game to try to get Johnny Grubb out. He's a 222 hitter. Let's pull the infield in. Ground ball to Whitaker. That should get the runner at home. Yep. That is something that is pretty common in this game. If you do get a ground ball, it doesn't always happen, but almost like clockwork, you can at least get a out at home. So there's 2 down. And here's Bob Stanley. Stanley also came over in the Carlton Fisk and Gary Hancock deal. And Stanley, we put him in AAA, and then Dan Petrie did not work out. And so we put him into the starting rotation, and he was just horrible. He was no better than Petrie. As Thompson walks. So runner on first for Lance Parrish. And Fergie Jenkins hits Parrish in the knee. So it's first and second now for Steve Kemp. Wouldn't mind seeing a big blast here. He hits a line drive to left. And no, it's 20% chance. We had an 80% chance on that double, and he was thrown out. So it's too difficult to guess anymore about what works and what doesn't. Gary Hancock hits a ground ball to first, and there's a double plate in the inning. So the Rangers are up 2-1, primarily due to my poor management skills. Bump Wills hits a fly ball into right center field, caught by Marino. If you watched yesterday's game, there was at least 5 hits that were bloops that dropped in. It was so frustrating. I have to say, at no point this year did I flip my desk over or throw my mouse or punch the computer, which, I'm not saying I've done that in the past. Okay, so I've done it a few times in the past. I have like a mouse graveyard in my closet. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, here's Richie Hebner, last at bat as a Tiger. Put a stamp on it. Oh, he gets a base hit up the middle. And we're pulling him from the game. And we're going to bring in Tom Brookins, who will likely be with the team next year. He has speed. He has some power against lefties. He's been good, but not great. We did have him starting at the beginning of the year in the lineup regularly, but he did not produce. As Carlton Fisk gets a base hit to right. There's no promise that Fisk will be on the team either, as we're going to let this Hall of Famer walk it off. We're going to bring in Champ Summers, who I mentioned in yesterday's game was a first month MVP. He pretty much did just about everything we needed him to do. And then he just stopped producing, and we used him only in pinch hit situations in which he did hit a home run to win a game once. So it's 1 out, runners at first and third. We're going to hit and run with Sweet Lou. This will be his last at bat. As he hits a ground ball to second. Oh, the run does score, as the only play was to first. So a good job there by Whitaker, evening the game up and taking Morris off the schneid there for the loss. And we go to the 6th inning, and we're going to do our defensive replacements. Just in your head, picture it as if, they're being pulled from the game. Everyone's, clapping hands. And first base. We're going to put Trammell. No, we've got to take Trammell out, don't we? Okay, so shortstop is Mark Wagner. Thank you for indulging me here. I guess put Dan Gonzalez at first. He does have first base experience. Obviously, Gibby is going in left. He'll be on the team most likely next year. We're putting Tony Armas in center field, and we're saving it for last, the team MVP, Gary Hancock, checking out. I guess we're going to leave Whitaker in there. That's all we have to work with. So thank you for indulging me on that. That's going to be it for Bob Stanley. Here's Dave Tobick. God, this guy has been just, he gave up a ton of runs in like one of the first games of the year against Boston. And then he was lights out the whole season until the calendar turned to September. And here, 2 for 3 with a home run for Sundberg because he strikes him out there. And then Tobick was just absolutely horrendous. John Ellis gets a base hit into center field. So, a guy with a 66 speed stretches it into a double, but Marino can't get to second base. So, 2 down. Here's Buddy Bell. And Bell gets a base hit to right, and Tobick gives up the lead. That is entirely predictable. I should have walked Bell and then brought in a lefty. Which is, I guess I'm pontificating too much and not really focused. But we're going to bring in Shotzi. Shotzi's been a long reliever primarily. He did get to start a few games. He did a great job all around. He had 1 or 2 blemishes this year, but for the most part, he was really solid. We go to the bottom of the 6th. I'm going to leave the year stats up. There's no point in looking at the in-game stats since we've switched everybody out. So Dan Gonzalez off to a pretty solid start here in September call-up. He had a home run that was pretty well timed, if I remember right. Ed Putman grounding out. And here's Gibby, who actually has not been very good. Oh, there we go. Saving the best for last. Gibson hits his first home run of the year. And that's great. That makes me feel better about putting him on the team next year, most likely. Maybe letting 1 or 2 more of these outfielders go. Bob Baylor pops out to short. We got him in a trade last year. We only have, with the injury, the tired people, we only have lefties left other than Lopez. And we'll save him for the grand finale since he was so terrible. Schatzeder can get out righties, so he's capable of that as he gives up a ground ball to Yount. So Bump Wills will turn around. He's going to bat right-handed this time around. And Schatzy gets Wills to pop it up to second base. That's Whitaker out there still. So 1 down. Yount's at first. Ground ball to Brookins at third. Wow, could not turn 2. As we have Dan Gonzalez with a 60 at first base. I thought he played first in his career, but I'm guessing he didn't. Billy Sample crushes lefties. We're going to intentionally walk him to get to Richie Zisk, who leads the team in home runs with 22. But, we'll take our chances. Pick our poison, as they say. And Zisk hits a ground ball to Whitaker. And I make the right play. We go to the bottom of the 7th. All tied at 3. Oh, man, if we go into extra innings and I don't have any pitchers, that would be the ultimate punch to the throat. As Tommy B grounds out to short. Here's Champ Summers once again. Hits a line drive to center field. That's 2 down. And Tony Armas, 3 for 6 with a home run against Fergie. Tony Armas has been terrible. Then he hit 3 games in a row where he hit a home run, and then he hasn't done anything since then. So he's all or nothing. We're going to say no. But what we are going to do is we're going to let Armas try to steal second base. Let's try to get someone in the scoring position for Whitaker. Nope. Oh, yeah, Jim Sundberg. I mean, the guy's got a rifle. He's the best defensive catcher of this era, even better than Parrish was. So that was, got to take chances every once in a while. So we're going to take out Shotzi. We are going to bring in Pat Underwood to face these righties. Pat Underwood has been there since the beginning of the year. And now he's in the setup role, which was Capozello's before he got injured. Sundberg gets a base hit to right. Up next is John Ellis with a runner on first. So I believe there's a caught stealing as Sundberg tried catcher catches catcher. And that's the first out of the inning. So yeah, Underwood will be on the team next year as Ellis hits it the opposite way for a base hit, bringing up Buddy Bell. One down for Bell, and that's a base hit to left. So at least here's a lefty with Johnny Grubb. Let's see if we can turn two and get out of this. Ground ball to second. That's the guy you want to get it to. All right, we're going to the bottom of the eighth. Still all knotted at 3. Sweet Lou. He's got a hit today. He's going to line out to right. That'll bring up Mark Wagner. Mark Wagner, less than 100 at-bats, but he's been there probably since May. After a few trades were made, we brought him up. And he's been good. So, been really solid defensively, played multiple positions. Dan Gonzalez gets a base hit. So 2 down for Ed Putman. He's got a couple home runs this year. He walks here. And that's going to be it for Fergie Jenkins. Don't call him Stacy. Here's Sparky Lyle. Pretty great reliever. His Yankee years are over as he's now close. Well, I mean, he did close for the Rangers in real life, but clearly he's not here. And Gibby hits a ground ball to third. That should be the third out. It is. So here we are in the 9th inning, and I'm really down to my last healthy reliever other than Comstock. So we're going to let Lopez pitch to 9th. Let's talk about, he's a free agent, and he will be let go. And this is really what it's been. It's been a revolving door on the base pass with Lopez all of September. He strikes out Bump Wills on a, tough call there. But he'll take it. He's walked more than he struck out this year. Oh, Bob Brower lays down a bunt, catches me off guard. And now Aurelio Lopez will face Billy Sample. And so you know what? We're going to intentionally walk him. It worked once. It'll work again, right? And then we're going to pull the outfield in just in case. We don't want any of those bloopers falling in. No duck snorts. And he strikes out Zisk. All right, this will be great. Way to end the season on a walk-off victory. Bob Baylor, not a home run hitter, so that's not going to happen. As he hits a ground ball to second base. That's 1 down. Next up is Tommy Brookins. Brookins had 2 home runs on opening day. I don't know if anybody remembers that. If you've watched any of the videos that I've made before Game 64, they were all pretty bad. I was still trying to figure out what this was going to be. Game 64 was when I really kind of figured it out as Champ Summers gets a base hit. Good job by him. And, I'm proud of where we got to. This has been a lot of fun for me. We got a little rally going. A couple right-handers. Oh, actually, I guess Summers is lefty. Armas is a righty. First and second now. Summers is the winning run. And it's down to Sweet Lou, who has been there pretty much all the way. He walks lefty on lefty. Mark Wagner. The whole season comes down to Mark Wagner, perhaps. That is unpredictable. Let's see how it goes. That's not going to happen. as he flies out to left center field. And we go to extra innings, just to be cruel. So we're gonna let Lopez pitch to Jim Sundberg. A couple more of these righties as he gets an infield hit to first base, and then they pinch run Mike Hart, not Mike Crotch, Mike Hart. And so John Ellis, I think there's a good chance he's going to steal, but we're going to let him pitch. What are we going to do? But let him throw the heat, which is 88 miles an hour back in 1980. There's one down. Here's Buddy Bell, definitely a double play candidate. Ground ball to second. Let's get two. There we go. We're going to bring in a new fielder. Greg Malberg comes in to play catcher. That's it for Sundberg, which means we're going to open it up on the base pass if we get a chance. Dan Gonzalez probably 1-for-1 versus lefties. Oh, ground ball to first. I was hoping that would get past him. There's one down. The game 13 of the year is the only game that I did not upload because it went 19 innings, and that early on in the season, I just didn't think anybody would watch it, so I didn't do it. And then, I've had another 19-inning game this year as Gibby, who hit a home run last time up, pops up. So, that was a mistake on my part. In 1981 season, even though it was there's a shot into center field. Can Putman score from first? He does, and we win the game. There we go. It all's well that ends well. And Bob Baylor, of all people, having the walk-off. So congratulations to us. Man, this is great. Thank you so much for watching. Let's take a look at the transactions. Oh, there's all the leaders. I suppose you could all easily have just paused that to look. Let's take a look. Let's just look now. We're going to make it quick. We know that Mario Soto had a no-hitter. Fred Lynn wins the American League home run title with 29. Claudell Washington has 26. Mike Hargrove is the batting leader with 335 in the American League. Keith Drumright, who for the last place Cubs had 322. Danny Goodwin, American League RBI leader with 122. He did that 2 times in real life. National League RBI leader was the Dodgers' Pedro Guerrero, who was a rookie in 1980. Kim Allen had 80 stolen bases, and Gene Richards had 78. Take a look at the pitchers. Bruce Keeson was the AL leader with a 3.09 ERA. It was actually Ron Guidry, but he did not get enough innings to count. J.R. Richard finished with a 2.34 ERA. Floyd Bannister had 183 Ks. Obviously, Nolan Ryan would strike out the most in the National League with 239. Wins leaders, El Presidente and you son of a bitch, Frank Tanana had 19. Steve Rogers had 23. Wow, in the National League, that's impressive. Saves leaders was Tippy Martinez with 32, and Aurelio Lopez, my guy, had 32. He had 1 in September. That's how bad he was. Oh, we're going to throw in Dave Campbell as the National League leader for Montreal with 32. We'll do a more in-depth leaderboard later. But we were there, so why not? We know who's in the playoffs. We're just going to run it one time. It's New York versus California. We have Montreal versus Houston. We'll see that tomorrow and how that plays out. Hope the box score will get out of here for the last time for the 1980 season. Thanks, everybody. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. We try to have fun. We try to do wacky things. And hopefully everyone out there has enjoyed it. Maybe most of you have already shut it down. But thank you so much. Aurelio Lopez finishes off the year, ironically, with a victory, 5-6. And Sparky Lyle takes a loss at 4-2. Gibby got his first home run of the year. That's pretty much it. Oh, who's the team MVP? I guess let's give it to Bob Baylor for the game MVP. He had the game-winning RBI triple, I guess it technically was. So good job by Bob Baylor finishing off the year as the MVP of the game. So that's going to do it, everybody. Thanks again. Gosh, I keep feeling like I need to say that. But until tomorrow, we'll be back with the leaders and playoffs. Okay? So until then, everyone, have a great night.